wake up. What is reality?
Welcome to the real world.
Good morning, night city, a day in the life. I was on my own, catching a ride with the lady. Her hair hangs down past her thighs, blue and pistol shit. Satisfies, leather jacket, zipped up tight. Big ones coming, look for lost and found. I have been bright and night city, where your appetite weighs you out to sunrise.
We are live.
Oh, we are.
Yeah,
What?
TheNuGeekz. That's right.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Wake the f*** up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Welcome to a new perspective on the modern day geek. And now, without further ado, please welcome your host, Apex, Liam of TheNuGeekz.
Trying to say here is that I don't even think this movie needs to be profitable to be successful.
Be ready. When it comes to The Flash, everyone has touted this movie as one of the greatest superhero films of all time. Now that I've seen it, I can tell you guys that is 100% true. Believe the hype. Again, words can't do it justice because you just got to see this thing, you got to witness it. You guys got to witness this on the biggest screen you possibly can because holy cow, this movie has so much heart. It's
Trying to say here is that I don't even think this movie needs to be profitable to be successful.
I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and guys, I've seen Superman.
Yo, apparently I was having some technical difficulties. Can y'all hear me? Let me know, chat, if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Cool. Having some tech difficulties there. Awesome. I was saying a little something to y'all. Let me know if y'all heard anything I said. If not, I'll just keep it rolling. But anyway, I didn't come here for a long time, but for a good time. This is an off-the-cuff, shooting from the hips kind of stream. I just wanted to roast these cats for a little bit, man. I saw the chatter going on social media with everything. And, okay, apparently y'all didn't hear nothing. So, on social media, I just was hearing all the chatter and everybody going kind of crazy. We saw influencers kind of crashing out for this new movie, and we saw Superman himself kind of crashing out. So it was kind of nuts. So I wanted to come in and just touch on a little something, you know what I mean? And just discuss a couple of things with y'all. Let me go ahead and get back in the comments. Thank you, Sergeant Daratina, for showing up. The Prime coming through. Yeah, I love that Metal Gear song, bro. It kind of gets me hyped and ready for war. You know what I mean? Rebel Moon Theory in the building. Skywalker pulling up. Thank you for holding down the Syndicate Network and keeping it 100 as always. We got Sin Havoc in the building. Talking about, well. We got problems up here. Yeah, man. Everything must go. Who else we got in the chat? We got Frank C. We got Kobe Tier. I don't know who this person is, but welcome. Good to see some new blood up in here. So yeah, man, I ain't come here for a long time. I didn't come here to talk too much. But I definitely saw everything that was going on, and I was having a great laugh online and having fun with everybody. So I just wanted to touch on a couple of topics. You know, first things first, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Everybody saw that new clip, right? If you didn't, well, I think I got a unpleasant surprise for you. Let me go ahead and roll some footage, and then we'll touch on why this is very layered, this clip.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog!
Hold on, yo. First of all, this motherfucker bust the door open over a dog, bro. Hold on. Let me cut the music off. My man's bust through that bad boy over a dog. Hey, I'm an animal lover myself, right? But god dang, this dude bust open the door for a dog. You know what? So my shit doesn't get copyright struck. Let me go ahead and hit y'all with this one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, Eve. Get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog in a cage?
What did you say?
Damn, bro. What's up with this guy, man? He breathing hard as shit, too. It's almost like, and look, this is going to be me kind of knocking Corn Sweat, I guess. I'm just leaping right into this. Again, this is off the cuff, shooting from the hip. I didn't really plan this out. I just threw a couple of clips in the back, And I was like, I'm just gonna touch on some shit before I dip on out of here. But I don't know. I just got some shit on my mind. I'm not trying to knock dude. I know everybody's been kind of tiptoeing around discussing his acting, but this guy's acting is cringe as shit. I'm sorry. It just is. It just is, man. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. It's like mad cringe. It's like he doesn't understand Superman's abilities on a really detailed level. Like, why would Superman be so incredibly out of breath and huffing and puffing and shit after doing something that should be effortless for him? He kicked open a door and flipped a table. And he's acting like hyper aggressive and he's panting. And that's before we get to the part where he's doing this over a dog. Not like some stray dog who doesn't have a home, but a dog who has powers, for God's sakes. This dog is so powerful that he was making Superman in another clip squeal like a hurt kid. But he's busting up in this dude's office, getting all up in his face, acting like a Neanderthal over a dog. Now, we'll be fair. We haven't seen the movie yet, obviously, right? I've had a source tell me about the movie, but good. But you know, regardless, I know this is out of context with what we're given, what we've been shown here. It's kind of hard to watch without destroying it, you know. Let me see what the chat thinks about that clip. And look, this should be free to use, right? They had it all over the TV. So why not, right? Yeah, thank y'all for bearing with me for that technical difficulties earlier. Yeah, it's a brutal scene, Frank. See, it's hard to watch, man. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tiptoe around it anymore. I don't think this guy can act, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know. And they keep touting this as some kind of a kids movie. And I'm not hearing that kids want to watch this.
Yesterday when I was seeing Elio, there was a very cute little boy with his parents near me. And after the Superman trailer, his mom said, "Do you want to see that?" And he said, "No."
He said no. Yeah, man. Did it catch that part? On my end, it didn't. She didn't say no. I'm gonna play it again anyway.
Yesterday when I was seeing Elio, there was a very cute little boy with his parents near me. And after the Superman trailer, his mom said, "Do you want to see that?" And he said, "No."
Yeah. I don't blame the kiddos, man. I don't blame the kiddos at all. So since y'all didn't hear what I was saying, since I had technical difficulties, I'm gonna do my whole little bit again and hope it lands this time. The following emotional reactions were paid for by the following.
Are you ready?
When it comes to The Flash, everyone has touted this movie as one of the greatest superhero films of all time. Now that I've seen it, I can tell you guys that is 100% true. Believe the hype. Again, words can't do it justice because you just got to see this thing. You got to witness it. You guys got to witness this on the biggest screen you possibly can, because holy cow, this movie has so much heart. It's funny. It's emotional. It's not afraid to get dark when it needs to be. And there are just so many cheer-worthy moments that as a DC fan, you're like, it brings you to tears, man. Like, there's a 2-minute sequence in this film where it was just nonstop cheering from the crowd, like for every little moment that happened, because dude, I'm just shell-shocked.
I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and
I'm sorry, man. I can't get over the fact that he's so dramatic, yo. I'm alive. I'm breathing. Bro, did you just run through Afghanistan? I'm confused. What's happening here?
I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and guys, I've seen Superman. I want to be very careful with this video because I'm not allowed to talk about the film. Last night when I got home, I recorded an out of theater reaction, and I have so much to say.
You know, I will give him this. At least he has respect for the film enough to not talk about it, right? At least he has enough respect for the film to not spoil it, right? Embargo or no embargo, I would think anybody has enough respect for a movie to not say anything about it yet, right? Someone who's in the know and in the background like that. Kind of reminds me of this next little piece of detail that I'd like to discuss. But before I do that, let me tap back in with the chat. We got Sean Franklin saying, "What up? How you doing, bro?" Osa Fresh coming through. Osa Fresh, the comedian of the fandom. That man, hilarious. Got Mama Bear. How are you, Mama Bear? My favorite mod. Frank C says Mofo acts like he went through a natural day. I'm saying, bro, like dramatic. And technically it's not a crash out, hardy hard, but damn, he's dramatic, bro. Good Lord. I don't even know if I'll play the rest of the clip, but it does get me to this next piece of detail here in terms of people respecting and not respecting certain aspects. Like, you know, people haven't seen certain movies yet. No one's seen any of these movies. So, like, by and large, outside of like the paid shills and like some of the people who are lucky enough to get into the fan events, right? So, what's up with your boy John Campia?
Trailers tell us this. A bunch of people need to mount an expedition to go to where dinosaurs still are and get some DNA samples to try to create miracle cures.
I know DNA.
And in the midst of that, they're going to fight a big whale dinosaur thing in a boat, which we saw things. They're going to be running from a T-Rex down a river in a raft. That was in the trailers. They're going to be confront a big pterodactyl-like creature in its nest. That was in the trailers. There's going to be this big monster, mutated monster thing. That was in the trailers. Guys, I'm telling you here, there's not much to spoil. There really isn't. The movie is exactly what they purported it would be, except good. And so with that preamble, I am going to let you know right now, because I simply don't care. There will be some spoilers in this, if you can even call them spoilers. So John, there it is. The little spoilers warning is right there. As long as this if you don't want to know anything about Jurassic World, although you probably already know everything about it you need to know because almost everything's in the trailers. But if you don't want to know anything else, wait until that spoilers warning is gone. Then unmute your phone, tablet, laptop, computer, television, whatever you're watching this on. Mute now until that spoilers thing is gone, okay? I did my...
This man, he was what, a day after seeing this, and he couldn't wait to hop right into spoilers. That's freaking nuts, man. He went to some event and the audience was lucky enough to get a screening of Jurassic World. It was like a surprise. After they saw one thing and then they surprised him with Jurassic World. So everybody's like, oh my God, blah, 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 going crazy, right? He does all that. He sees it. And then he turns around, does a stream, and he's ready to spoil it, bro. That's insane to me. And I'm not some studio shill who's like trying to protect all these freaking movies. I'm seeing a pattern is what I'm trying to kind of allude to, I suppose, because again, this is an impromptu stream, shooting from the hip. I'm going all over the place on this one, right? But just follow me if you will. Follow my thoughts. So we have them protecting Superman tooth and nail as if their lives depended on it. You just heard your boy Soups, your boy Matt Ramos. This man just acted like he just came from a war. He said, I'm alive. They're protecting this film, this movie, Superman L, as if their lives depended on it. But when it comes to something like a Jurassic World, this man Campia is allegedly calling for refunds and, you know, telling people to skip the movie and save your money. so that you could see Superman. Like, yo, man, this shit is very telling. It's incredibly telling. And the pattern is, to me, is very simple. You got a guy like
What I'm trying to
this,
say here is that I don't even think this movie needs to be profitable to be successful.
who weeks prior to saying something to that effect was going around telling everybody it has to be profitable. Was going around bashing the movie. We've covered that ad nauseum. Sky, myself, and the rest of the syndicate, right? But the pattern is quite clear. Everybody who seemingly is basically paid for by the following, everybody who has seemingly been paid for by the following, they're coming out here protecting the hell out of this Superman movie. While at the same time saying shit like, we can go ahead and spoil Jurassic World because it sucks. Yo, that movie could be absolute trash, which I don't think it will be. I think at worst, it'll just be like a fun popcorn flick. I haven't seen a clip that let me see that kind of made my mind go, oh, this is going to be absolute garbage. I'm not expecting cinema. Like, this isn't Dinosaurs directed by Martin Scorsese or some shit. This is just, it's Jurassic. It's the Jurassic Park series, man. We're just expecting to have fun. But what I don't expect is somebody to come out and already start talking about spoilers. A guy with such a large platform like he has, with such influence. Again, this guy was lucky enough to see this movie for free after going to a screening for another movie. I don't even know what the other movie was. It's kind of insane to me. It's freaking nuts. Circling back to this clip, though, this Superman clip, I did have a couple of thoughts, and I think I'm going to wrap up in a moment. My phone is buzzing like crazy right now because I'm supposed to be going somewhere this evening. Anyway, I just want to discuss the hypocrisy of everything I've been seeing about Superman thus far. Real quick, hold on. Give me one moment. All right, my bad. Like, I don't understand how anybody can watch these clips and come away and do streams and say to themselves, like, this all makes sense. This was all worth it. Destroying the Snyderverse, pivoting away from Zack finishing his work, pivoting away from hiring Henry Cavill, or rehiring, I should say, pivoting away from the Batman solo film by Ben Affleck, pivoting away from Wonder Woman 3. Pivoting away from making this into an Elseworlds, pivoting away from the very fan base that helped to launch your HBO Max platform. How can anybody watch these clips, see these costumes, see this horrible acting, and say to themselves, oh, it was all worth it. It all makes sense. We're going to dump over $500 million into a new Superman movie that, let's be honest, people, it's not gonna make what it needs to make in order to become a success. This movie needs to make well over $1 billion to be a success. It would be lucky to at least reach $1 billion so that we can call it breaking even. $500 million effing dollars. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm kind of dumbfounded and flabbergasted. Again, this stream was not super planned. I literally just got a bunch of clips and I was just like, I got to touch on this, even for a moment. Look at this clip. This is insane.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about.
Bro, this isn't, bro. That's, he makes Luthor look like the good guy. Can't control his emotions. He looks like a freaking man-child, a baby. And he keeps doing that, like, that jerky thing with his arms when he yells, like temper tantrum little children do. They jerk their arms down like, and there's no like manliness in his voice. It's all like, it's, I don't know. I guess I sound like I'm nitpicking at this point. What up, DC Talk? Mama Bear, what you were talking about when you said, what'd you say? Where were you? You say you sent me something. I'll check it later though. Appreciate you. Whatever it was. What y'all think of that clip though, chat? Let me know. Hey, Sin Haver, are you talking about days of the week? Days of the week. Don't get me started. You talking about that? That's that children's channel type shit. Oh man. Meanwhile, Fantastic Four is soaring. My goodness. And I'll be one of the first people to say on this stream that Skywalker was right. Hashtag Skywalker was right. I would not be surprised if Fantastic Four clears all these movies. Not that I'm tripping about it being competitive or whatnot. I honestly, if I'm being biased, which I am, I just hope it's everybody win, but you know who, right? I don't care. But if I'm using my common sense and knowledge and whatnot, Fantastic Four looks like it's about to clear. It looks like a really well made Marvel movie within their brand and what they do. I'm not a big fan of their stuff, but I will admit that this movie, the trailers, everything I've seen thus far, the acting is sincere. And that's the thing, when you compare the two, there's sincerity with Fantastic Four, there's earnestness, there's stakes, there's the way they touch on the themes that they're delivering. It's quite beautiful. I like the family stuff. I get a little warm and mushy about things like that. I got goosebumps when I saw Reed Richards say he doesn't know if they're gonna win, right? In that trailer. It's all basic stuff. This isn't like groundbreaking material, but I don't fall into that group of people who are like, everything has to be new and it has to be no. Like, as long as you're doing whatever you're doing, I prefer innovation, right? But as long as you're doing whatever you're doing in a way that is sincere and I can clearly see that you're striving for quality, I'm rocking with you. I'm not expecting this to be some cinematic masterpiece, but I do expect to be entertained and have a good time. And this looks like it's going to be a good time. You know, it just does. I don't have a clip or anything. I just wanted to really touch on that because I'm not a Marvel dude at all. Anybody that knows me knows that's 100% true. Like I'm not a Marvel guy, and I never will be. The MCU, that is. But this looks great so far. It looks fantastic, if you will. Oh, and by the way,
When you enter the lair, show some decorum. Hit the like, share, and subscribe to the new geeks.
yeah, guys, when you enter the lair, show some damn decorum. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Again, my apologies for the technical difficulties earlier and my lack of structure. But I was like, I know I got some stuff to do this evening, but I really want to touch on a little something real quick because it was kind of irking the shit out of me that I couldn't get some of these thoughts out. And I don't know, I just saw a couple of patterns. This isn't some big deep dive stream. This is just something to give you guys to wet your taste buds and to, basically it's kind of like it's a meeting, right? I know we're all feeling the same thing. We're all feeling the same thing. When it comes to this Superman shit, they just wanted to do this.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
And it's not going to happen. Not without some pushback, Gunn has seemingly made a movie that's essentially for man children and adults who have failed to launch. People kind of like this.
Do you think James Gunn can reboot the DC universe properly?
Does this answer your question?
Oh my gosh.
James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn.
Woo! I missed that clip. And look, if this thing does over $1 billion and this thing is a dope movie, then I'll eat my freaking words, man. I'll eat my words. I don't care. I have no problems going back and saying, hey, I was wrong, guys. The Snyder versus day, guys. It's over, guys. But no, what happened is every time they release a new piece of material from this movie, they keep proving us correct. They keep showing us every time they show some material from this movie that they should have just let us finish the story. Let them finish the story. They should have just let the man cook. I don't understand it. It's like they're trying to burn money. It makes no sense to me, man. Let the man cook. Damn, if you're a DC guy or a DC gal or DC fan, whatever, I know y'all miss this dude. I miss the shit out of this guy every damn day when I see a piece of material from this crap movie that they're about to make. Man, this is nuts. It's freaking nuts, man. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up and hold here. You guys are great. Thank you for joining me for this quick stream. Again, putting up with my impromptu, no structure, off the cuff, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, sort of thing. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Put in your last questions, comments, concerns, any sort of details I may have missed, any sort of news you want me to discuss real quick. Let a brother know in the chat right now as we wrap this thing on up. What song should I leave you guys with? Let me see. Let's go with this. Yeah, let me take a peek at the chat real quick. I don't know, man. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. You know, here's the thing, too. I'll say this before I go. I talk about this with Sky sometimes. They call it a trilogy. We know it's not. I'm good with that. Obviously, we want hashtag sell ZSJ on Netflix, hashtag sell Snyderverse on Netflix. Obviously, right? Like 100, 1000%. We want that. But if they think that they won, if we don't get it or we do, whatever the case may be, you guys are left with this shitty product to try to twerk and pretend like it's fine and okay and it's a success. We have masterpieces. So, hey. Either way, we win, man. Either way, we win. Your best bet was to just go ahead and let us continue this Snyderverse on Netflix. But, hey. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to beg. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope. That's it, guys. A clunky episode, but I don't give a shit. This episode is better than Superman. I know that. Where I'm at. Oh, there I go. Peace.